Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy, Ghost Boy XO. You already know. Don't mind my background, guys. Just pay attention to me. In the spirit of Halloween, I dressed up as take a guess, take a guess. Um, yeah, I'm Charlie Kirk. But the one with I don't have the hole in my neck, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Hope you guys don't take too offense to it. If you guys do, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below. You guys already know. Ghost Boy. So this is a little new for me. I'm doing something different today, and I'm gonna be holding the camera because I didn't have anything to mount it onto. But basically, I'm going to tell you a story. I want to tell you a story of how I got into the paranormal, investigating stuff, being a believer, and all that. I want to tell you a story of. It's a long story, and I hope I get the most of it. But basically, I was dating this girl, and it was good. It was cool. It was fun. It was exciting, and we really liked each other. And, until that, she started doing drugs. Well, I think she was already doing drugs while she was with me, and then until I found out later. She told me she was using some stuff, and I was an alcoholic, and I like to drink a lot. I was okay with it. Not that I was okay with it, but I was like okay, that's your business. That's not mine. It didn't change a whole lot. I kind of like, hey, if you need help, if whatever, if you need someone to talk to, you can talk to me. Being supportive. I was trying to be understanding of all of it. And basically, uh, she was using, and she started using a little more. Um, and like we went through life, and she had her moods where she was upset, she was tired, mainly like come downs from like whatever she was doing. And well, me myself, I had my issues too, so I kind of I was kind of being was trying to be understanding. I was trying to be understanding of all this. um we all have our issues and our problems, and I was there to support. And then at one point, I'd started, cutting back on the drinking, and I was just trying to show her that I was there for him. But I don't know where the idea came exactly, but she got this idea to play the Ouija board, and she played the Ouija board. Not she played the Ouija board. I don't know if she played it with a friend at first, but she played the Ouija board, and she was telling me, she's like, "Hey, you're down to play the Ouija board?" I was like, sure. I mean, yeah, I was just like kind of, I didn't believe it, that any of that stuff. I didn't believe in that. I believe that it was fake. I even, I didn't look it up until later. But she played the Ouija board, and then I guess she said that she played it with her friend, and then I guess she was getting some stuff answering back, saying that she thought it was her guardian angel. And so anyways, we she brings out the Ouija board. She made it herself, by the way. Didn't look like the regular Ouija boards that you see on movies or at Target. So she made it out of paper, and she used like these spongy like alphabet words, letters, to put on everything. It looked very cute. She called it the kawaii Ouija board. Okay. And I never touched it. I didn't play. She played it. I was like skeptic, and but I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna chance it. But I was in the room with her while she was playing it. So she would ask questions, and it would not move, or it would move. Then yeah, at one point it was saying that it was its guardian angel, all that. She looks after her, this and that. At one point, later on, it started saying the word mama. And then she was kind of like, oh, well, mama, you're calling me mama, why? And she started putting things together in her mind, And there's a story she told me before. I did never interjected. I never put any words in her mouth. I never put any thoughts in her mouth. I was literally just writing stuff down, like writing stuff down. Um, but then it was, yeah. So I kept writing mama, and basically, um, sorry, I'm just trying to think back. Basically, she said that she thought that it was her aborted baby. She had an abortion. Um, so she had an abortion. She got rid of the baby, and yeah, she just started, being getting emotional and thinking, oh, like having a conversation. I'm sorry, I had to do this. Forgive me. And then was saying like, "Mama, blah blah blah," love you, things like that. And I was, I was getting very like, uneasy about it, just because I was like, okay, is this legit? Is she legit doing that? Like, is she moving shit? Like, cause she's the only one touching it. I'm not touching it. So she's moving it. Like, is she's trying to make me believe that this thing that she's talking to is her kid? Is she trying to convince me like she's lying? Like, cause I like we're dating and stuff like that, and never thought that she was the most faithful person. Yeah, we'll get into that later, but I never thought she was the most faithful, just because of her past relationships with other guys and everything. She wasn't faithful, and I would think she was prone to lying. So I just took it as, okay, maybe not. Maybe she's just fucking with me. Then, anyways, we stopped that, and then I look into it. I go into Google. I go into the internet and I look it up, and I'm like, is this real and everything? Forums, and then they're saying, like, yes, it's real. I had this happen to me, like this. This is dark. This is energy being brought into the Ouija board, portals opening and stuff like that. And I started tripping out. I was like, holy shit. I was like, girl, we've been doing this wrong too. I read on the internet that we need to open it up with a prayer, this and this and that, close it out with a prayer. It was like that type of situation. And then she was started telling me that she had things going on in her house, going on, like footsteps, door opening, lights turning on and off. And at one point, I'm kind of getting a little scared, I'm not gonna lie, because so I'm in my grandma's room, grandma's house right now, and she's not here. But the thing is that I'm by myself, and it's a little dimmed in here, and then this is the only light I got right here. So I wanted to make it as creepy as possible, because it is Halloween day, and I didn't want to do it just like in broad daylight kind of thing. I'm a scaredy cat too when it comes to like darkness. So Jesus, yeah, protect me, bro. You got me. I believe. Anyways, so I had to do a little pause right there, because I get a little freaked out easily sometimes. Anyways, so we open it up with the prayer. We go back to her room, do the whole Ouija board thing. We do almost like a seance kind of thing, where it's just like we do like a prayer. We like pray to like the negative energies can't attach to us. You're not able to things like that. And then we started the session. So first, it was a person that came in and talked to us, saying that they passed away. And then later on, same thing. She's the one touching the board. I'm not touching it. I'm writing stuff down, because this thing's moving fast too. So then later on, we get the mama again, and then but this time the baby spirit, or whatever, is now not nice. It's being aggressive. Why'd you do this to me? Why? Don't leave me. Like, basically, she was at one point, the conversation was that the baby wanted my ex, to come with them. And then, like, I don't know if that meant like come with me, or take your life, come with me, kind of thing. So it was turning into this kind of very weird, messy, dark situation. And then I was like, we gotta end this thing, basically. And honestly, I told her, I was like, I honestly don't even think we're talking to what you think we're talking to right now. And then after I said that, boom, it switched. It was like, basically, I didn't find out till later, but I heard that Mama is also very close nickname to Zaza, which is one of, or Zozo, sorry, Zozo, which is like a very powerful, evil entity that comes through the portal of the Ouija board. And I didn't put that together until later, until after that. But after all this, after that happened, like it was um we ended up closing it, told her to stop, and then we stopped. And but the thing is, the things continued. I started to experience those things with her. I was scared that I took something home with me. I did the whole supernatural thing, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, started putting salt around like the windows and the doors and everything. I was tripping out. And uh yeah, I started to pray more. And I even like, she started acting weird. She started getting more aggressive, and I don't know if it was the drugs, the things, messing with her head, because it was happening in her house, not with me. But when I was out over there, I started witnessing those things, the lights turning on and off. Like, it was like, so you okay, so let me, you see like that light right there, like, oh, see, like that light right there, it doesn't have like a thing that you could pull on it. So like one of those fans that you could pull the light things, like that's what she had. And then she had like the lights like this to flicker on and off too. But the thing is that, like, let's just say the light turned off, right? Then we would turn it, we would look at this and it says it's out, it's on. But then we would go to the light bulb, we'd click it, and it still wouldn't turn on. We'd click it, and then the same, we'd go back over here, would click this one, click that one, turn back on, and it wouldn't. So then the same thing, it would just turn on back to turn on or turn off by itself. And we just started thinking maybe it's an electrical bulb. But the thing is that for me, I started getting really scared because it would just turn off like mid conversations or whatever we're doing in her room, hanging out, mid conversation talking, and it just boom, just turn off. I'm like, fuck. Like, I wasn't even prepared for that. I started getting scared, having a fear of the dark just because of that. Because like, it was just so sudden. The feeling, the thickness in the air, the vibe, like, would change drastically. And then, yeah, we didn't have the most perfect relationship, so we did have arguments. And in one of the arguments, they would kind of get aggressive. She would get very aggressive. It could be the drugs or whatever it was. But there was one point where she punched the wall. She even punched the wall, and she made a hole in that wall. But when she did that, like, okay, so she lives, okay, so it's 2-story, it's a second story. She lives on the top. There's no balcony. When she open up the window, you could literally just see outside. You know what, I looked at the back, and I seen the back, and I looked at it after that, and there was no way for somebody to climb up there. So when that happened, when she punched the wall, I literally heard somebody give out a deep exhale outside the window. And she heard that, and she freaked the fuck out. Like, she bugged out her eyes. I bugged out my eye. I got chills right now just thinking about it. But there's a deep breath. We both look at each other, and I'm like, fuck. And then it was aggressive. She was aggressive. We were having a debate. We were having an argument. And I, right then and there, I grabbed her and I hugged her, and I told her, like, I wanted to diffuse the situation. I told her, like, look, girl, I love you. Like, let's relax, let's chill, let's calm down. Like, I wanted to get her mind off that too. And because I got scared. I saw the situation, I saw what was going on, and how is that even possible? Who would be outside? How would you be able to get up there? Like, how would we not hear you if you tried climbing up there? Footsteps, climbing up I don't know, a ladder or whatever it was. There was no way. And amongst the other things that happened, like, like mid conversation when we're talking, watching the movie, whatever, kissing, and the door is locked, because she, we're both, young adults, but at the same time, like, we locked the door, but the door would unlock itself and open, at least to a crack. And I'm like, there's no way, like her little sister would be able to do that. And let's just say if it was her parents, or parents already knew we were up there, so it's not like, why would anyone be trying to do that? At least like a knock or anything to fuck with us. I don't, man, there's no way, and we wouldn't even notice when that thing would peep like through. The footsteps going up and down. She actually told me once that, multiple times, I think maybe two or three, that like she would be in the restroom and then like she would turn around and she'd just see like an old man, like in the corner, or like people corner, or something like that. And that to me is so scary, like to be able to see something like that. Maybe it was the drugs, maybe it was that, but the fear was real. I even took her to my church at the time. I started going to my mom's church, because of what was going on. And I actually, told the father. I told the priest that I was just like, hey, like, she's feeling sick, she's, not feeling well, and she's having some issues. I was like very vague. I was not trying to tell her, like, hey, like, we play with the Ouija board, blah blah blah. But he, like, I put her hand on her and everything. I would take my Bible to her like house without her even knowing, just so like I could have peace of mind for myself. Um, like, I bought a Bible because of that, and I still have that Bible, and I still read from it, you know every so often, or I carry it with me in my car and everything. I keep it close. Um, but what happened to the Ouija board is we basically, she said she got rid of it. I don't know what she did with it. She said, I guess, I read things not to burn things, this and this and that. But anyway, she said that she got rid of it. I guess at some point things started to go back to normal. At some point, we did end our relationship. Not too long after that. It didn't really involve that. Like, it wasn't really because of that. But there was a lot of negativity in my life at the moment, especially because of her and that. Um, but definitely left me being a believer, and it helped me in my path with God. And yeah, I've grown from it, and I always had that experience. And there's two other things that I could probably key things that I could probably mention about. Because I never physically saw anything, but I did hear something, a disembodied voice, the exhale. But I saw two things that or witnessed two things. One of them, when it was actually Halloween. It was actually Halloween, and we're gonna go out trick or treating with her sister, her little sister, and we kind of got in a bit of an argument again. And at the bottom, I could see that she had like a fan, like a little fan, those little Honeywell black fans with the little black cable and everything. Well, it wasn't connected or anything, but the fan was just on the floor, and then like the cable was just kind of like sitting straight. And I just saw the black cable, just kind of like wind. It's kind of like it was like this, like straight, and then like it was like this straight, and it did this. It churned to the other side, like without anybody touching it, without it being connected or anything. It was just like it was just like it just moved on its own. And I still remember that. I'm like, I didn't even mention it to her, because I was just like, we're already having issues right now, and this thing's just gonna get in our way again, and I'm not gonna feed into it. And I don't know, I was just like, I should have just called it out and be like, boom, fucking move. That was one of them. And then this one time I slept over. and so we slept together in the bed. We were still asleep, and I woke up, and that sleep paralysis feeling. Well, it wasn't sleep paralysis, but I couldn't move. Like, I knew I wasn't in a dream, and I literally was just trying to, like, move my body. I felt like tingly all over, like I was completely numb. I was like, what the hell? And then, like, she kind of had a bit of a mess on her, in her room, like enough to where, like she had like little knickknacks and stuff like that on the floor, like where if you were to step on something, like maybe like if it was like an empty bag or something, or like like let's just say a chip bag, you can hear it. Well, that's exactly what I heard. It was just laying there, and I heard, and I just looked. I was like, there's nobody in here. And then I hear it again, like somebody was stepping in the room. And I was like, holy shit. And I just said, oh, Jesus. Like, I just remember just saying, Jesus. And then I was like, dude, I was like, please. But ever since then, I never really experienced anything like that. Maybe there's a couple things, um, if you guys watch my other stuff in my other channel, on the I Spooks channel, we do paranormal investigations, and little things, some things like that. But that was pretty intense for me, because I think I was in my most vulnerable state, just because at the time I wasn't, a believer, and it was all new to me, and I wasn't a believer in Christ as I am now. But that still sticks with me, and it still, messes with my mind, just because I don't have communication with this person. And sometimes I feel like, if I would have reached out to her and been like, whatever happened, like, are you okay, are you doing good, like, I don't think she is, to be honest. But if she is, whatever, whatever, put more power to her. But I just wanted to get on here and tell you my little story. But yeah, it had definitely impacted me, where I know that the Ouija board works. I know that there is a dark side and a portal to things that bad, really bad. And I hope that everybody stays safe. You pray. If you don't have a God, or you don't believe in God, and you stay strong, because you're gonna need it one day. You're gonna need him one day. And I'm thankful for her, and I'm thankful for, like, my experiences, because without them, I probably wouldn't be the person I am now. So this maybe this little story got a little long, but I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope I put it out today as soon as possible for you guys to enjoy. Happy Halloween, guys. I hope I get to do more videos like this for you, and maybe in a little different setting or so, just because I'm trying to get away from the other stuff, like the food videos, and I want to be able to branch out my brand, or my channel, make it into a brand for the Ghost Boy XO. But thank you guys. Let me know, you guys have any scary stories. Let me know about your comments, or comment down below, and let me know what you feel, what you think. But thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Ghost Boy XO, so you already know. Comment down below, like, subscribe, and happy Halloween. Stay spooky, guys. Peace out.